Okay. Anyways, okay, so first of all, we have these inequalities. It shows right here, you use a dashed line when it doesn't have the line underneath it. This would be y is greater than 3x plus 2. It doesn't have the line underneath it, so therefore we use a dashed line when we graph it like this. And then solid line is used when it's y is less than or equal to. So we would use a solid line like this when we graph it. And when you look at these, do you like think in your head y is greater than 3x plus 2? Do you like say that out loud in your head? For this, you're going to have to. Like when you look at this, y is greater than 3x plus 2 because that will help you figure out where to shade. So when you look at this, think y is less than negative 2x plus 4. Or here, y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 1. So if you don't say it out loud like that, like get in the habit of doing that. Then number 1, we have an inequality here. We have to rearrange it so that way we can actually graph it. It should be in a y equals mx plus b format. So as you can see with these examples, we have kind of like a y equals mx plus b, but except with the inequality, we need to rearrange it so it's in that format. So first thing I'm going to do is subtract 3x from both sides. So I get 1/2 y is less than negative 3x plus 2. So we just solve this like a regular equation. Now we need to get rid of this 1/2 in front of the y. We could divide everything by 1/2, which would work, or you could just multiply everything by 2. So multiply both sides by 2, and we'd get y is less than negative 6x plus 4.
Why do you do plus 2?
So I would have to, so this 1/2 y, to get rid of that 1/2, I'd have to either divide by 1/2, divide everything by 1/2 to get it to cancel. But instead I multiplied everything by 2. Because 2 times 1/2 is 1, and 1 times y is y. And then whatever I did on this side of the inequality, I had to do on this side. So 2 times... Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we have this inequality here, and we're going to graph this line. But remember, we don't have a line underneath that right there, so we're going to have to do a dotted line. But just starting out, our y-intercept is 4. Like this. And then the slope is negative 6x. So we're going to go down 6 over 1. And then I'm going to graph that line. Here's where you can use color if you want to. It would be a dotted line. Whoa, my colored pencil broke. No. Just with the color, it's easier to see it. Okay, so now we have to shade the part that is included. Y is less than this line. So we're shading underneath that line. Sometimes it's more obvious than others. So for example, with the next example above that line is very obvious. For this one, under is actually in this area. So underneath this line would be right here, and we just shade this. Sometimes you'll see stripes. You can just like color it if you want. Whatever kind of works for you. And we're done. And we move on to the next one. The next one, number 2, same idea. We have to get it into that y equals mx plus b format so we can graph it. So we're going to add x to both sides. And then next step is to divide everything by 2 to get y by itself. And then y is greater than 1/2 x plus 2.
Oh, 1/2?
Yeah, because I know that's the slope, so I wrote it like that. Okay, so now we're going to graph this line. Y-intercept is 2. The slope is 1/2, so that would be up 1 over 2. And then it's going to be a dotted line again. Maybe I'll use a different color. And then y is greater than 1/2 x plus 2. So by saying it like that, y is greater than, I know it's going to be the numbers above greater. So then we can shade in all this. Oh, it's hard to see that. Let me shade over it. Okay, next. Next one, same idea. With this one, we're going to have to divide by a negative. And do you remember when we divide by negatives in an inequality, we have to change the sign in the other direction. So be on the lookout for that. So first step, subtract 4 from both sides. Negative y is less than 2x minus 4. And then from here, we're going to divide both sides by negative 1. And then when we do that, we have to change the sign in the other direction. So this becomes this. We get negative 2x plus 4. So then y-intercept is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And our slope is negative 2x, and we're going down 2 over 1. Yeah, because it's negative. And then it is a dotted line again. And then y is greater than negative 2x plus 4, so our shading would go above the line, so up here. Feels pretty easy. Okay, we have 2 more examples on the next page. Thank you. Next.
What was the shade you say?
What's up?
What side do we shade? What side do we say shade?
For this one? So y is greater than this, so it's the top part. Next. Okay, so these are a little bit different because we're graphing absolute values, absolute value inequalities. So we're going to graph the absolute value first using the transformation rules. So absolute value graphs make this shape, remember? And then we have to look at the transformation here. It looks like it has a stretch of 2. So that's like the slope, or they call it A equals 2. And then plus 3, so that means up 3 is where we're going to graph our original point for this. Okay, so our original point from the origin up 3, 1, 2, 3. And then our stretch is 2, so we're going to go up 2 over 1. And then up 2 over 1 in the other direction as well, until we get this shape. Now, y is less than or equal to, so it's going to be a solid line. I'm going to use a color here. Which color do I want to use? So I'm going to do a solid line for this. And then we're going to shade like we did with the other ones. It says y is less than or equal to, so the shading goes all down here. Color, 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 color. And next. Okay, so another absolute value, our graph is going to look something like this. Look at these numbers. We're going to have a stretch of 3. And then we have the plus 1 inside those brackets, so that means to the left 1. So our original point is just to the left 1 of the origin. And then a stretch of 3, so up 3 over 1, like this. And then on the other side, up 3 over 1. And then last but not least, I need to shade. It says y is greater than this, so the shading actually goes in this area here. Oh, it was supposed to be a dotted line. Good catch. Yeah, it should have been a dotted line. I was like into the moment. Where's the eraser? I'm just trying to make it a dotted line like this. Okay. And that's it. Pretty easy. Okay, I'm going to give you the rest of the class to work on your Schoology homework on this. I'm going to have you use a laptop. If you finish your Schoology homework, which you probably will, it's just going to be graph or like matching these to the graph. If you finish your homework early, then start or work on your Khan Academy for the week. So use a laptop, get logged on to Schoology, start your homework, finish your homework,